All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the August 11th meeting of the Code Enforcement Board. The meeting will now come to order. May we have a roll call, Madam Secretary?
Mr. Harrington,
Here. Present.
Ms. Marsh. Here. Ms. Roby.
Here.
Mr. Reinhardt.
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Here. He's here.
Okay. And Ms. Ouija.
Here.
You have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. And a motion to excuse Mrs. Himes? A motion from Ms. Roby, second from Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right. Has everybody had a chance to read the amended June 9th minutes? These are June minutes. Okay. Are there any additions or corrections from the June 9th corrected minutes? All right. Motion to approve. Motion, Ms. Roby. Do we have a second? Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Does anyone need to disclose any ex parte communication? Do we have, so I guess that's a no. Do we have any announcements, Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am. We do. Okay. Page number 3. Case number 4. CEB 02-2270, 1010 Libby Avenue is in compliance as of 8/8/22.
Excuse me, is that case 3 and 4?
No, just 4.
Page 3, case 4.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Page 4, case 5, CEB 07-22-149, 937 Glenwood via Zoom. Also on page 4, case number 6, CEB 07-22-155, 924 Vine Street is in compliance as of, I'm sorry, I didn't flip my page here. As of 8/8/22.
8-8, comply. Okay.
Page number 5. Case number 10, CEB 07-22-155, 1292 Bel Air Drive, compliance, 8/10/22. Okay, page number 6. Case number 14, CEB 06-22-126 is in compliance as of 8/4/22. Page number 7, case number 19, CEB 07-22-152, 2340 South Peninsula Drive is in compliance as of 8/3/22.
That's 2430 South Peninsula.
Yes, sir. And also on page 7, case number 16, CEB 07-22-146, 436 Tarragona Way is in compliance as of 8/11/22. All right. Page number 9, case 24, CEB 08-22-175, 25 River Dune Drive will not be heard today. Okay, page number 9 as well, case number 25, 08-22-197, 735 Marion Street. There's a scrivener's error at the time at the bottom. The first notice was 6/21/22, and the proper papers were sent out to him. It's just on the agenda that's wrong.
Okay.
Could you repeat the case before that? I missed.
24?
Case number 24.
Is that the one that you can't?
We're
Yes,
not.
sir.
That's, okay.
not hearing it today.
Is it being continued or is it withdrawn? What's that? Okay,
Okay.
well, we'll be making that request to the,
Right, the Board of Time comes up.
Oh, okay.
Page-
Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay. Page number 10. Case number 30, CEB 0822 173, 114 Peninsula Drive via Zoom. Same page, page 10, case number 31, CEB 0822 174, 315 North Grandview Avenue via Zoom. Page 12, case 38, CEB 0822 189, 917 North Oleander, N 915 is in compliance as of 8/10/22. Those are my announcements.
Okay, thank you. Make things go quick. Glad to see all the things in compliance. And we will be hearing case number 29 at the beginning of the new cases. That's the only case that we're going out of order for today. All right, so would our code officers please stand up and be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, everyone, here's our procedure. We'll be calling cases by number and for the most part in order as they are listed on the agenda. If there are any attorneys present that must be in court, we'll hear those cases first. If there are any police officers who must get back to assignment, we'll also hear those cases first. When your case is called, please come forward and be sworn in. State your name and address for the record. If you are not the owner of the property, please state your relationship to the owner of the property. Our proceedings are recorded, so please speak into the microphone. The board will hear from the code officers first. They'll present their case, and then you will be given the opportunity to respond. Please direct all your responses to the board. Any side conversations you need to have with code officers can be done outside of this room for the most part, so that we can continue going on. And if they're witnesses for a case, they may be allowed to testify following all those same procedures. Okay. All right, we're going to start with our lien review. It's lien review number 1. It's our only lien review, CEB 09-21-269. Respondent present? Good morning.
Good morning.
Please be sworn in. State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
My name is Richard Grice, and my address is 542 Live Oak Avenue in Daytona.
So you live at the house in question.
Yes.
Madam Chair. Mr. Grace, will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And you can pull your mic down to talk. It moves.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thank you.
All right, what would you like?
yeah, if I can start.
Go
Madam
ahead.
Chair, Anthony Jackson, attorney for the City of Daytona Beach, House of One this morning. As the staff has previously provided through information to the board that the staff would be pre-meeting with individuals as we consider lien reviews this is a situation where the staff has met. I was not a part of that, but the staff.
There was no pre-meeting.
Yes, there was a pre-meeting between the staff and
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Grice. As you see through the agenda, the property was belonged to Samantha Smoke at the time when the lien was imposed. Mr. Grice is a subsequent purchaser, and he became owner of the property back in December of 2021. December 28th would have been the date of his warranty deed. The staff, in meeting with Mr. Grice, they were able to, in discussing the circumstances regarding the status of the lien maximum reached a maximum of $15,390.66. The staff, in considering the circumstances of Mr. Grice, agreed to release the lien. Agreed to reduce the lien to the amount of $6,500 as to Mr. Grice only, which would be as to the parcel only. So as a partial release, we would only be releasing the parcel, and the lien would remain attached as to Samantha Smoke, who is was the actual violator. So our request would be that a reduction. And this is something we've done in the past. It's not.
Okay, I'm not clear about it, so could you just re-explain this again to me?
Yes, we're asking for a partial release, which would be a release as to the property, but not as to the person. As you may recall, when we impose the lien is imposed against the violator as well as against the property. So it attaches to all property owned by the violator. In this case, we're releasing the lien as to the property so that Mr. Grice is reduced, subject to paying the $6,500 within 30 days, but it will remain attached to the person. It would be the remainder because that portion would be off of the total. So that remainder will remain attached to Ms. Smoke.
So,
That's confusing to me.
so the rest of the lien of the 15.5 lien or whatever close to it,
That would be $8,890.66 as calculated. Would remain attached to Ms. Smoke.
Would the staff like to share with us this discussion? Because I have a lot of questions according to what the defendant has listed here as the reason why his.
Certainly, and
On the basis of this paper, I don't see where you came to that agreement, so I'd like to know how you came to that.
okay, and of course, staff would be happy to share and answer any questions you have. As we discussed before, it's something that ultimately is your
What it
decision.
says here is the gentleman spent his life savings, and he never looked at the property or entered it. That's pretty unique, to pay $45,000 for a piece of property that sold to the previous owner for $10. Pretty unique that something bothers me there.
Okay.
Well, if I can, and I'm sorry, I'll have to let him speak to that, but generally when it says it's sold for $10, it doesn't necessarily sell for $10. That's just
So records are useless?
no, I don't know if
People put that on the deed just to sell the property.
it's put on the deed
The
to
purchase price.
satisfy the consideration requirement of the deed.
You get away with paying less taxes, less fees.
Okay. That should be looked into.
It's a standard practice. It's not something
Still
that would.
should be looked into. Standard
I
practices
understand.
are necessarily for the benefit of the public sometimes.
But I just want to make sure it's clear. And I'm not challenging any question you have there. I'm just saying, wanted to make sure it's clear. If there's a presumption that was previously
What I want to know is, in
purchased.
response to what the defendant wrote, is his reason to be reduced, that his life savings, is this the only piece of property you own?
No, sir, I have other
You own more
property.
than one?
I have another piece of property, yes.
Okay, so that's not your first gamut into real estate. So
No.
you're aware of title search and all the other protections.
Well, this is, in my defense, this is my first property that I purchased that was boarded up and I was not afforded the opportunity to go into. This is the very first one.
Mr. Harrington, if I may, Denzel Sykes, Code Enforcement Manager. When we met with Mr. Grice, one of the things we did consider in reducing the fine for him was the fact that he did do a title search, and the title company failed to give him the information about the lien prior to. And we do have that warranty deed here. And the name of that company is
Okay.
Covenant Closing and Title Services. So he did go through the proper processes, but somewhere they failed him in releasing that information to him. So once we went through our notes and found out that, in fact, the lien had been recorded prior to the company coming on board, when they should have revealed this to him, that was part of our decision to reduce it somewhat. And once he got into the property, he did immediately go ahead and clean it up. He had to deal with a couple of squatters as well as utilities. He had to get the electric meter hooked back up and water services, at additional cost as well. So all that came into our consideration when we made that decision.
I would say, I think, Mr. Sykes, if I'm not correct, you said this wasn't as-is purchase. Was this from I don't know if it was from a tax deed or from a...
It was an as-is purchase, and he did admit to it. It was as-is. But the title company didn't provide all the information to him.
If I could ask Mr. Grice, was it from a tax deed or from a foreclosure or just an as-is purchase from the...
Just an as-is purchase here.
Okay.
My question is,
All right, before we go on, and I'll give you a chance to question, but let's hear from Mr. Grice and let him say what he'd like
my
to say.
question is towards
Oh, okay.
attorney
Well,
and
go ahead.
staff, is where my question is leading to.
Okay.
Because I'm not clear about, and if you would please clarify, the conversation and how we came about that this gentleman would pay $6,500, then you're telling us that the other $8,000 is left on the previous owner. So, but I didn't hear the previous owner has 30 days, or has 90 days, or has any time to pay it.
Yeah, I'll be happy to speak to that.
Go ahead.
Generally, well, first of all, the previous owner is not the one who's come forward to seek any relief.
Correct.
Generally, if there was no relief, it would still be in full. The reason it's not in full is because now the new owner is asking for relief, and we're willing to give relief to the new owner, but not relieve the actual violator who was the prior owner. And as I said, that's we haven't had to vocalize it much in recent times, but we've done this many times over the years where we've done partial releases, releasing the property, but not releasing the prior violator. And in this situation, as you can see the list of violations, there were violations that resulted ultimately, as he described, in the property needing to be boarded up, resulted in having people that were staying in there, squatters in the property. And so it required various actions of the city to try and maintain it. And in some ways, that became a relief that someone purchased it who would make use of it instead of us having to constantly monitor and clean and maintenance the property. So it was advantageous to the city, and we're very happy to have this responded in the sense that he did come in and clean up. But nevertheless, we've always perceived that someone, buying in the status in which he bought would probably have gotten some benefit of the bargain. But at the same time, our appreciation is that we do see the justification for a good
Tony, let me see if I can get your recommendation clear. You want us to go ahead for $6,500, release this property in total. This would release this gentleman here, but it would still keep the lien out there for other properties that may exist in the county or the city.
For anything else that's
Under
owned
her
by
name.
Ms. Smoke, that's correct.
Okay. Okay.
She's still responsible for that $88,000.
Right.
The remaining
Not-
portion
but not on
she
this
would still be
property.
responsible for. she can come in and seek relief if she's
Correct,
so
I get
elect.
it. Yeah,
If she
okay.
has a property that she has, that's being burdened by
Right,
that,
not for this property.
lien.
Okay,
Okay,
we don't, I think there's confusion because we don't see this
very well.
too often, you know? I don't recall anything recently like this, but, all right, Mr. Grice, you need to have time to talk. Let's hear from you.
Actually, other than what's already been said, I don't have anything more to add to it.
All right, good. All right, any more discussion from the board? Somebody like to make a motion to reduce the,
Accept the city's recommendation to reduce the lien for Mr. Grice to the 6,500.
I'd second.
30 days.
Second.
all right, we have a motion from Ms. Robian, and I heard a second from Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor, say aye.
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 Like sign opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we will do our continued cases. These are cases that have been heard before and have been found to be in noncompliance and have not yet come into compliance. Case number 1, CEB 07-22-161, Liliosa Bohensky Estate. Tara was here last time, who was a witness. I don't know whether that person's here now. Okay. We can wait for you. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, we'll hear from Mr. Jean-Baptiste first.
Get us sworn,
I need to swear.
get us sworn in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And your
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Well, my name is Tara Salvati. I was Miss Lily Bohenska's niece, caregiver, everything. I'm sorry.
Your last name again,
My
I'm
name
sorry?
is Tara Louise Salvati.
Can you spell your last name for me?
S-A-L-V is in Victor, A-T-I.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. And you said you were the caregiver?
Yes, but she's now deceased.
So who, well, let's get a little more into this. Are you representing the estate?
Yes, but I do have a lawyer, and he did try to contact the guy, the code enforcement guy yesterday, and he didn't. I don't know if he got his message or not, but they do want you to call. I do have the phone
Okay,
number.
all right, well, then we'll hear from Mr. Jean-Baptiste now, please.
Good morning, folks. Inspector Jean-Baptiste. Since last week, I've had several communications with, what's your first name again?
Tara.
Tara, sorry. Progress in terms of she has removed some of the trash from the exterior of the property. She has managed to do most that she can, if you will, as terms of the progress. At this time, staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance, compliance by next cutoff, because the roof still needs to be repaired and other issues that they're having at the property.
Madam Chair, if I may, just so, before you proceed, this is the case we actually continued at the prior meeting. And we continued it because of the same information, and this is where we were clarified to the board that there was actually a letter of administration that did appoint Ms. Salvati as the personal representative, and we had acknowledged then that she was represented by Ms. Melstack, who actually had a casual meeting. I came across him in another circumstance, and I knew he was going to do a follow-up. But she does have the authority, and I do have another
Okay.
copy of that.
Oh,
It was
good.
submitted last time. but
Wonderful.
here's the
That's what
copy.
we were looking for last.
I've been waiting for that too,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
And that was as of July of 2022.
Okay, good.
Entered. So she does have authority
Okay.
to take whatever
Good.
action.
Okay, that's terrific. Okay. All right, so your recommendation,
So my recommendation is finding of non-compliance, compliance by next.
well, I think, oh, you're amending the previous order of noncompliance, is that right? Or what are we doing here?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue it.
Because my
was
husband
continu-
died too the day before last.
It was a
Gotta
continuance.
start non-compliance.
Madam Chair, it was an error. It was a continuance. Should have said continuance, not imposed fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so action to be taken should be continued.
Well, would be a finding of compliance and non-compliance would be the action to be taken, Madam Chair.
It was continued the last time.
From the prior action would have been compliance and non-compliance.
Right.
Continue to make that finding today.
So we are making a finding today of
Non-compliance.
compliance or noncompliance,
That's-
just like a new case.
That's good.
Correct.
All right.
I wish you had old.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent come into compliance. Is there discussion about this? Since she's being represented, I think we just need to let it play out. That would be my opinion.
Well, we didn't give her a chance.
Do you want to say anything?
I just need to get more time. I've done
Yeah,
some
I
work
know.
to the property,
Okay.
but I'm kind of at a standstill right
Okay.
now, honestly.
All right.
She had gotten a reverse mortgage.
Yeah.
And they did the roof. They never got a permit. The roof leaked. I've tried, and then she died. So
I know. Okay.
I don't think I'm at a standstill now, for real.
Okay.
But I'd love to go after that company. They charged her $26,000. And look at the house. I mean, they were supposed to do so much work. And
I
this
know.
was when Hurricane Irma, a year later.
Okay.
And I have all that paperwork.
Any comments from the board? All right, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date to be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So
Got the
moved.
motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, second? Second, Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Just stay in touch and do what you can do.
That's what I'm
Get
doing.
it
I'm
done.
actually trying
Okay.
to sell the place.
Good.
It's a headache, you know.
Yeah. And thanks for getting those papers. That made it a little easier. All right. Case number 2, CEB 07-22-156, Jacqueline Kemp. Respondent not present, and we have Mr. Alderman. Good morning. Last time she was here.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Mr. Jackson. My name is Steve Alderman, Neighborhood Services Inspector for the City of Daytona Beach. Since the last hearing, progress has been made toward compliance on this case. Ms. Kemp has had her family helping her. I've had contact with her numerous times, and I've also had contact with the Community Development contact, Bill Orender.
But, excuse me, what?
Bill Orender from the Community Development, because she's on a list.
Right.
So I needed to obtain a copy or email, and he did send it back. So I do have that shows that she is on
Good.
the list.
Okay.
Would you like to see it?
Okay. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. Do you need to see that, Mr. Jackson?
No,
Okay.
no.
Mr. Oliver, was she on the list last time you,
Absolutely. She's been on for
Yeah.
quite some time.
I don't recall our vote. Why did we impose the fine?
Because she was on the list.
Because she was on, we were giving her time to get this letter.
Okay, so we're basically here to just continue this.
Sounds that way.
Oh, well, I mean, we'll see what the recommendation is, and then we'll discuss that. What is your recommendation, Mr.
Well,
Alderman?
Due to the fact that she is taking care of the issues do not need a permit, and she has her family helping her, like she mentioned, I'd like to amend to the October cutoff, please.
Okay. Discussion? The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 10/5/2022 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, is there a second? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Case number 3, CEB 01-22-16, Maybelle Bazell. Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Your name?
Annette Pratt for Maybelle Bazell State.
Did you say Pratt?
Yeah, Pratt. At 1058 North Libby Court, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, how are you related to Miss Maybelle?
My mother.
You're her mother?
No.
She's your
That's
mother.
my mother.
Oh, okay, she's your mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Butler, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Inspector Roosevelt Butler. Credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 1058 North Libby Court, since last month, court proceedings, I've had contact with the property owner, and this is the probate case. The probate attorney has completed the process, and now she has a deed in hand. We currently have it. Copies
Good.
are being made right now as we speak.
Terrific.
So she can now apply for a permit, which is
Okay.
going to be an after-the-fact permit.
Good.
She has some things she wants to share.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Pratt. What would you like to say?
You want to tell me about the contract?
Oh, I've been trying to get a permit for the place, but the contractor who did the roof, I can't get in touch with him. And I'm just at a standstill, whoever did the roof.
You can't get in touch with him? Is he still in business?
He not answering his phone calls. I don't know.
Uh-huh. They have an email, I mean, I,
They local?
what?
Are they local or the roofer?
Yeah, I guess.
You have a contract with him, you say, or you're trying to get a contract?
No, I have, he came by and did the roof. I really don't know, because I never been through nothing like this.
Right.
I don't know. It's just my house had a hole in, and he said he was a contractor, that he can do it.
So you don't have a contract?
Mm-mm.
Is there, Mr. Sykes, what do we do in a case like this?
Well, maybe we can assist her.
Okay.
If you give Officer Butler the information, maybe we'll be able to contact them ourselves and get them in touch with you.
And is there a procedure for if this person can't be contacted?
She would definitely have to get with permits and licensing because what they're asking for is after the fact permit. And normally the contractor who did the work needs to be the one to fill out the paperwork.
Right.
I guess I have a question.
Go ahead.
On whether or not it's a contractor or just a
Yeah.
individual that did the roof. And
Right.
it's going to be very hard to get the permit after the fact if they don't have insurance and all the
Right.
things that are required from a business.
Yeah, once you leave here, if you would, stop down at permits and licensing. You might have to wait for Mr. Butler, and he can assist you with that.
Okay.
We'll try and help you out here. That's what
All right,
code will
thank
try
you.
and help you out. Okay? That's a tough situation, I agree. Do you live there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what's your recommendation, Mr. Butler?
I would like to request to amend to the October cutoff.
Okay. Any more questions from the board or comments? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 10/5 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000. Such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Interesting. Motion, Ms. March, second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. You know, I'm looking on my, okay, thank you.
You're all
I'm
set.
looking on my, let's see, my agenda, and it doesn't have Ms. Marsh's name on as member, does it? Just, does anybody, I
I'm
might,
sure you're saying as far as member present?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess that is just a member list, you're right.
all right, so it's just an omission. Okay,
We'll handwrite her into that.
right, well, handwrite. All right,
Number 5.
case 4 is in compliance. Case 5, 07-22-149. This is by Zoom, VMJ Investments LLC. Zoom person here?
Madam Chair, staff has sent prayers already.
Oh, sorry. The voice from
Staff has sent the Zoom link this morning as well as originally. Respondent isn't here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Butler.
As pertains to 937 Glenwood Street, since last month, court proceedings, I've had several contacts with the owner. All of the violations have been adhered to with the exception of the windows. Staff requests amend to the next cutoff.
Madam Chair, I may have overlooked it or missed it, but did you announce the case, just for the record?
I think I did say that. I'll do it again, though. Case 5, CEB 07-22-149, VMJ Investments LLC. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until
The next cutoff.
8/31 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved. Oh,
Motion, Ms. Roby. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. All right, case number 6 is in compliance. Case number 7, CEB 07-22-160, PB and J Walker LLC.
As it pertains to 100.
Oh, so he's not here. That person's not here, was not here last time. Okay. Go ahead.
As it pertains to 1005 Essence Road. Since last month's court proceedings, I've had contact with the owner. However, the tenants have moved out, and the only thing was left was some outdoor storage to be addressed. Staff requests amend to the September cutoff. I spoke to him as of yesterday, and they're going to get all that cleaned up. So.
Okay, any comments from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8/31 to come into compliance or return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
I'm sorry.
Let's see, Mr. Reinhardt,
Yes.
motion. Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 8, CEB 05-22-105, South Wild Olive LLC, care of Uberto Barrios. No show. Okay. Were they here last time?
They were.
Okay. All right, Mr. Yates, good morning.
Good morning. Inspector Kevin Yates, Neighborhood Services. My credentials are on file. Since the last hearing, they've passed multiple inspections and continue to work under permit. I'd like to amend the compliance date to the November hearing.
Right. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous, any comments? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8:31 to come into compliance. We return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Motion, Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. We have a question?
I do. I thought you asked for November.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, he said November.
That's in November or September?
November.
November.
Oh, November.
August.
Why so long?
Well, they're completing a complete renovation, and the fact is, it'll just take that long. They went from basically all the way down to the studs, and then as you can see, they've just basically gotten it buttoned up. And instead of having them come back every month, I just think it would be.
Okay, so you're giving them until 11/2? You want to give them till 11/2? Is there any, and they are making progress, you said?
Absolutely. Yeah, they've
Okay.
passed several inspections since the last hearing.
Okay.
Did we pass the previous motion?
We did pass the previous
No,
motion,
that's
so what we need to do is, Ms. Roby, would you like to amend your motion to 11/2?
I thought that's what we said.
No, I said, I missed,
December.
yeah. I said 8/31.
Oh, yeah, make it till the city's recommendation of November 2nd.
Okay. And Ms. Marsh? Okay, Ms. Marsh will amend her second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, thank you. Case number 9CEB 07-22-147, Timothy Bagnall.
That case is in compliance as of August 9th, 2022.
Case number 10 is in compliance. Case number 11, CEB 06-22-125, Brett and Jennifer Crawley. Sure, they weren't here last time. They were here, this case has been around for a while. Okay, and it seems complicated to me. Mr. Yates, what's going on?
Since the last hearing, I've had no contact and no progress has been made on any permits. I'd like to ask for a fine of $100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
This is the one where they built the porch and did all the,
Yeah, the porch, the shed extension, they started with a deck, and those are current photos of what the outside still, that's before they built, but those with the materials and stuff outside are still the current
I'm
photos.
sorry. Let me see. This will stop in a second. All right, so they didn't ask for a variance or a zoning meeting or anything? They haven't done any of that?
They haven't responded to the comments that were required on their permits since May 3rd.
Ooh.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
And what is your recommendation?
$100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
Any comments from the board? All right. The chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 12. CEB 06-22-138, Nicole Rajanowitz?
Yep.
Okay. Please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Raise
Go
your right
ahead, raise your right, and be sworn in, Brenda.
Your name, ma'am?
Good evening.
I didn't hear you.
Good evening.
What's your name?
Nikol Marjanovic.
Okay, thank you.
I don't hear from that here.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So are you Nicole?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mr. Stenson, good morning. What can you tell us?
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. My qualifications are on file. Since the last hearing, the property owner has visited our office a few times. Project has been moving forward. The roof permit has been finalized. A wall permit has been issued. City is recommending that we amend this case to the September cutoff.
Would you like to say anything? They're giving you more time because you've got the permit.
Yeah, because right now, the back, people have to work outside, and it is so hot
I know.
that I'm going to wait maybe next month when it's going to be, the weather will be, not so hot.
Well,
or September.
Who's doing the work?
Some help, some people that I know.
Do you have a contract with them?
No, they're just going to put the bricks. Do I need somebody to do it?
I don't know. You have to ask Mr. Stenson.
Yeah, because it's just to put the bricks 12-inch down. What it is, I have a fence, and the fence I'm going to put the grass. But if I put the grass in the fence, the grass is going to go in between. Then if I put the brick, I can cut the lawn. You see what I mean?
Do you live there?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Stenson, if she needed a permit, does she need a licensed contractor?
No, she does have a permit and she has a homeowner's permit.
Okay.
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 All right. That's, yeah. I needed to know that. What's your recommendation, Mr. Stenson?
I'd like to amend to the September cutoff.
Yeah, I understand it's hot, and people that work outside understand it's terribly hot. It's been a very hot summer, but we need to get moving
Yeah.
on this.
Can I do it when it's going to be a little bit colder? Because,
Well, we're giving you another month. No, you can't wait till it's colder because
Not
there
that
might be a hurricane before then.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you need to get it done.
Okay.
The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8/31 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a
Let's give her the
motion.
date of the subsequent meetings, so she knows.
The meeting will be on 9/8, on September 8th.
Okay.
Okay, I should probably say that every time, right?
Yeah, I hope it's going to be colder. To do it.
Well, yeah, we all hope that.
yeah, yeah, because I don't like the way it is now.
No,
but,
okay.
All
right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay, so you get you ask those people to get busy, okay?
Yeah.
I know it's hot. They,
I know it's hot.
But
send
there
myself.
could be a hurricane, so we need to get that done. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Madam Chair, IT, that's a.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Case number 5 is in here now via Zoom. Not sure if you wanted to go back to that.
Well, if he's here, let's go back to it.
Thank you so much.
Is the that would be Mr. Butler. Is he here?
No, he is not here. He went downstairs to the permit department.
Oh, yeah. Well, then he's gonna have to wait until, is he coming back?
I can check.
All right, let's check. We'll hold off on that because I'd like him to be here.
We voted to extend it to the October cutoff, so what's,
Yeah,
September cut.
September cutoff.
September cutoff? I thought,
Probably not, probably not.
is that what everybody has on their notes?
Oh,
We've
Yep.
already.
yeah, okay.
Amended
So
to
we
that
all,
cutoff.
so is that right? We already put it off till the September one, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, and it's already been heard, so.
It's already been heard, so we don't, I mean, just tell them it's already been heard. Okay. Okay. It's already been heard, and the ruling was that it was extended until the September cutoff, which is 8/31. Is there anything else he'd like? I mean, the case has been heard, so, hello? If you want to say anything, you're going to have to be sworn in.
Okay, hi, good morning, everybody.
morning.
Salino Howdy on behalf of BMJ Investments.
Are you Mr. Sabino? Is that you?
Howdy, yes,
Okay.
good morning.
Good morning.
I was there in person at the last hearing.
Yes,
My
you were.
apologies, I got stuck in court. I don't know if Mr. Butler told you guys that we got the roof fixed, we picked up all the garbage.
Yeah, he said all that was left were the broken windows. So we're
Right,
giving you till
that's my
next.
next project.
Right, so we're giving you, I just want to explain this to you. So we're giving you till next month to get that done.
Excellent, I'll get on
Okay.
it right away, thank you.
Terrific, thank you. Have a nice day.
everybody.
Okay. All right, now where were we? Mr. Stenson, we are on case 15? 13. Okay, CB 06-22-124, case 13, Yvonne C. Pierce. Last month, I think her son showed, or 2 months ago, her son showed, and then last month he did not. Where are we with this, Mr. Stenson?
Since the last hearing, we were waiting for a response from the city as far as the assistance for getting the roof. I still haven't heard anything from the city on that, nor have I heard from the property owners.
Okay.
But I'd like to amend this case to the September cutoff. Because I
For
know-
any reason?
Well, I just know that the assistance program usually takes a little bit longer than usual.
This case is over a year old,
That's correct.
well over a year old. But has he applied?
He's had the interview to see if he was eligible for
Is he?
assistance. I haven't gotten. a
Oh, so we don't
contact
have any information at all, basically.
Other than what we presented before.
And he's not here this time.
Okay, so he came, okay, Yvonne is deceased and the son showed up.
Yep.
Okay. So then he, at the first time this case came up, I guess that was in June, right? Then in July, he did not show, and in August, he is not here, but he has talked to you. So there's contact with him.
There is, yes.
So you want to give him an extra month to produce the paperwork that he needs?
Yes, either he's going to produce it or I'm going to hear from the
Yeah,
city
okay,
representative.
we need to have that. In my opinion, we need to have that paperwork produced. Any other comments? Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8/31 to come into compliance and be returned to the board on September 8th for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Is there a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. All right, case number 15, CEB 07-22-159, Frederick Smolkoff. Is there Smolkoff here? Okay. Mr. Stenson, this was a
Central-
citizen complaint?
Yes.
Okay.
This was citizen complaint driven. Since the last hearing, there's been no contact, no change in the property. We believe that this owner may be deceased. Property was posted, multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. City is asking for the imposition of a fine of $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
Now, yes, I mean, I believe that this person is deceased. It's around, the house is around the corner from me, so I kind of, I don't, I have knowledge of that, but I don't. Hmm?
Yeah, he's deceased.
Mhm.
Is
So
it
what do we-
vacant, or is there somebody in there?
It is vacant. I believe the neighbors, the neighboring properties are actually cutting the grass for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to accept the city's recommendation.
yep, 100 up to 10,000, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, did we make it, because it won't be owner occupied.
Well, what we have done is based it on the last known use of the property, unless there's some
That was
change.
owner
Yeah.
occupied. Okay.
I'd second.
All right, who made the motion? Mr. Roby made a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day up to $10,000 against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of 10K. So Ms. Roby made the motion, Mr. Reinhardt made the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Yeah, where is he, please? I didn't see him, that's.
He's in the lobby.
All right, yes. Someone needs to be someplace to accept delivery. I'm going to allow case number 29, which is a new case, to be heard out of order. So come on in. I thought you left. I didn't see you because I was waiting to call you up, but I didn't see you. This is a new case. Case number 29. Good morning. State your name and address for the record.
David Guzman, 44 South Hollywood Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to hear, there you are, hello. What can you tell us?
This was a field observation on October 14th, 2021, with the following violation: trash and debris, dirt and grime, unmaintained landscaping, peeling and discolored paint. Notice of violation was generated and was sent certified mail. It was delivered on October 15th, 2021, with 30 days to comply. Upon a site re-inspection on June 25th, the city is not in compliance. I've had no contact with the owner up to this point. Staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance, compliance by the next cutoff. At this time, the unmaintained landscaping is in compliance, and the trash and debris is also in compliance. This is the area in
Yep.
question.
Okay, Mr. Guzman, there are two things that still, or a few things, I guess, that still need to be done. Dirt and grime, I assume that means on the building?
Correct, ma'am.
Dirt and grime on the building and peeling and discolored paint are still two things that are not in compliance. What would you like?
That's the wall you're talking about, right?
What?
That's the wall he's talking about. The pink part that's not painted, not finished stuccoed yet. I've been stuccoing the house as I get money, and that's the last section of the house I gotta do. It's the garage area.
Next photo, please.
It's a 10-foot.
Right.
But most of that wall's done. It's just, if you go to another picture, that wall's painted. That little section in the back.
Okay, So we're giving you a month to come into
2
compliance
months.
to do it.
Well, he said 2 months.
You said 2 months?
1 2 months, you have to ask them now.
Oh, if I gotta get 2 months, my stucco guy has just been busy. And I'm trying to raise money to get it done. I mean, I've been doing a lot of work on the property.
So
Stucco.
you have to, right, you have
I've
done
done
work.
90,
You can see you've done
90%
work.
of the house,
Okay.
stucco the house and painted it. I mean,
Okay.
you guys gave me
Stay
the
in
pilot.
touch, please, with Mr. John Batiste.
That's
So
fine.
he, okay, don't ignore his calls or anything. that
I
he
never
does.
got a phone call. I just got a letter that,
Okay. well,
certified
don't
letter that I
ignore
didn't
those.
sign for,
Okay.
so.
Is there discussion from the board here? Are you willing to give him that extra time? All right. The chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance and respondent to come into compliance by, that would be 10/5, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Ms. Roby made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
Can I just ask one question?
Go ahead.
Can you oppose more than the $10,000 lien you already have on my house? You can keep going on it?
This,
We have,
I don't know. I am not aware of that
I have a $10,000 lien on the house because
from a code lien.
from this case.
If I may, there is.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is a previous case for the retaining wall that's damaged, and there is a lien that has maxed out at 10,000.
And I'm in the process, I'm waiting, I left a message with the city manager's office about the wall. 'Cause I
When
already-
everything is in compliance, or if that wall is in compliance, you can come back and ask for a lien review.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is,
But it's not part of this case.
so you can add another $10,000 lien if I don't get it done in 2 months.
We could.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Doesn't mean we will. All right, let's go back. Are we on case 17 if we go back, right? Okay. Case number 17, CEB 09-21-268, Ernestine Johnson. Not here. Good morning, Ms. Kirk.
Good morning, Sarah Kirk, Inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. This case is a returning case. Since the last hearing, I haven't had any contact. The building has been demolished. Right now, we're just waiting on a final of the demolition permit. Staff's requesting to amend to the next cutoff for
Oh,
compliance.
so it got, did you ever find Ms. Johnson or no?
No, never heard.
So so the city just went ahead and,
Right.
okay. All right. Well, okay. I guess I understand it.
If it's been demolished, why wouldn't we just close the case?
I have to wait for the permit to be finalized.
Okay.
And an owner doesn't have to have anything to do with that?
if the city moved in.
I guess
No,
because the
in
city
this
did it.
case, in this case, it was a burnout, complete burnout.
Right.
And it was a safety issue and health issue as well.
Right.
So the city went in.
just went ahead,
Yes.
okay.
And they did send out proper notices to whomever, but they never got a response.
That would have been through a condemnation process?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
went through the whole condemnation process, okay.
That makes sense. Okay.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8/31 to come into compliance and be returned to a meeting on September 8th for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, case number 18, CEB 07-22-164, Vivian M. Brown Estate and Joy Brown Maxwell and others, Tia Watson and Richard Thomas. Anybody, any one of those people here? Okay. And there was no contact?
No, since the last hearing, no contact, no progress. Staff is requesting a $100 a day fine to a max of $10,000.
So it's just sitting there?
Yep, and it was a complaint generated case. The only thing that was done was there was a couple junk vehicles. They did remove those at the very beginning. Wow.
Okay.
But other than that, the trash, overgrowth, door.
Huh. Have you ever had contact with them?
I received a voicemail, and when I called back, the phone, it went directly to voicemail, which was full. And
Yeah.
so I was never able to get contact
Okay.
back. And I'm not sure who it was, but they reference this address.
Okay. Well, we only have the addresses we have, right?
Right.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to impose, any comments from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved and reaches a maximum of $10,000. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second. Was that Ms. Roby? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. All right. Case number 20, CEB 07-22-162, JMW Phillips. JWM Phillips. So, okay, you're the son of, are you Randall?
Yes.
The son of William,
William,
right?
yes.
Okay. Will you state your name and address for the record and be sworn in?
Randall Phillips, 1505 Crescent Ridge Road.
Can we raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about the provided is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to hear from Mr. Bostwick. Good morning.
Good morning, Board. All right, since the last hearing, Inspector Bostwick, credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. Since the last hearing, I've been in contact with the owners multiple times. Some progress has been made. Staff requests amend to the next cutoff, and they will speak to the issues that they were having.
What progress has been made?
I took down the accumulation of trash.
Well, let
Oh,
me,
I'm sorry.
I think I'm asking Mr. Bostwick, what have you noticed the progress?
All right, they started to paint around the garage area. They took down all the outside storage that was behind those two vehicles.
Oh, good. So the outside storage is in compliance, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What else? Is there anything else on this list that's in compliance?
And they started to paint the garage.
Started to paint.
Started to paint the garage area. I think he told me that they had hired a contractor to come and paint the main house, but something happened that he could explain.
Okay, all right. Randall, what would you like to say?
I was out there working yesterday. I got pretty much all of the first story done on the first, what you see there. I got up to the second story windows and the first left portion of that I painted myself. The contractor is an actual personal friend of mine. His older brother, who's severely autistic, his mom passed away, who was the caregiver. So he was just dealing with the legalities of that, but he should be here today to paint that second story.
Okay.
And that's all we're waiting for. Oh, and the tree, there was a tree that would need to be taken care of there, which I'll be taking care of personally.
You need a permit for that tree?
It's already been cut. Yeah,
It's already been cut.
Yeah, it was already cut. It was destroyed by Matthew. It split. It was an old Spanish oak. It split and it just slowly rotted away, and we just had it cut down. And
What are you doing for the roof?
Yeah.
the roof was fixed. The second story roof there, or the
Roof and drainage, fascia.
oh, the fascia. Oh, I painted. It was just
That's in part of the painting.
Yeah. I painted that white. I'm sorry. I apologize. That should be all painted and primed and ready to go. I just have to put the gutter back up.
So the only thing left is the paint.
Yeah, the second story paint and that trunk, the tree trunk up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Chair will entertain any other questions? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8:31 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting on September 8th for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Such a motion? Ms. Marsh made the motion. Is there a second?
Second. Okay.
Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, case number 21, the CEB 04-22-83. Melissa Cheney. Is Ms. Cheney here? Was not here last time, but was here the first time, okay?
Good morning.
Good
Mark
morning,
Jones,
Mr. Jones.
Neighborhood Service Supervisor. My credentials are on file. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with the owner. There is just a little bit of storage that still needs to be corrected. That's the only outstanding item. You can see just a little bit back in the far back where they're on both sides of the house. They're just still, from where this came, this is, and they've done a lot.
Wow.
The whole house,
Yeah.
painted, everything. But it still is not in compliance.
It's just
so-
that extra bit of trash back there?
Yeah, there's
That
just some outside compliant, storage. You can see there's an air conditioner
Yeah.
sitting out there, and, back behind the trailer, it's two parcels, or two addresses, one parcel. And they've, cleaned a lot of it up, but it still is not in compliance.
Okay.
So staff's requesting to amend to the next cutoff.
Okay, any comments from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 8:31 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting on 9/8 for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Such a motion? Who was that? Ms. Roby, second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Maximum on that,
I'm stepping out again.
there's a maximum, you didn't state it,
No, it was just to amend to the next,
up to the base of fine of $1,000.
up to $1,000 per day.
A maximum. Isn't there a maximum?
1,000,
Like 1,000 to
I think $1,000 a day is the maximum, right?
But up to a maximum of $10,000?
That's the way we
That's
usually
normal
do
motion.
it. Right, that's the way we usually do it, yeah.
You just left it out, that's all.
Until compliance is achieved.
Yeah.
For consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
Yeah, if I could help.
Go
you.
ahead,
I think
yeah.
the language y'all are referring to is the language that's typical for when a fine is imposed.
Right.
In this situation, she's not imposing a fine, she's just announcing the,
It could be up to $1,000 a day. That's what we say all the time, and that's what this says, fine of up to. Okay, all right.
I'm stepping out.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez is stepping out. We still have a quorum, and we're going to move on to our new cases. All right, case number 22, CEB 08-22-177, Michelle Glenny. Good morning, state your name and address for the record.
I'm Michelle Glenny, 334 Taylor Avenue, Daytona Beach, 32114.
Okay, be sworn in, please.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Wiggins.
Good morning, how you doing?
Good.
All right. The case was opened up, well, Inspector Wiggins, Code Enforcement, City of Daytona Beach.
Welcome.
On file.
Okay.
The case was opened January 27th, 2022, and was field generated. The first notice received was January 29th, 2022 for dirt and grind. The compliance was due by February the 28th, 2022. I've had contact with the owner, Ashley, August 8th, which was Monday, about her condition of her house. But the issue remains, and the staff recommends non-compliance, compliance, next cutoff.
Okay. Can you get this work done?
Well, my son-in-law came over Sunday and power washed the whole house.
Oh, good.
Well, apparently it wasn't good enough for the inspector because
Oh.
he came back and inspected it and told me
Oh.
that it wasn't good enough.
Okay.
The
Did he tell you what you needed to do to make it good enough?
I guess the west side of the house needs to be done.
Okay.
Like all that dirt and grime's not there anymore. My son-in-law did the entire house, the roof, everything. So it doesn't look like that anymore.
Okay.
At all. All that dirt and grime around the edges of the top of the roof is gone. The problem, yeah, see all that dirt right there? That's all gone.
Okay.
The problem is the person that owned the house before me had it stuccoed on the outside, like covering spots.
Painted the dirt on?
Well, I think what I've been told is if you can see up in that right-hand corner right there above the window, they had done like stucco, and instead of using a light stucco, they used like a heavy concrete. Now it's falling off the house, and it's leaking into my house. So the problem is I need to get a contractor out there, and it's
All right,
about
Okay.
about $30,000 worth of work that needs to be done in the house. They basically painted lipstick on a pig and sold it to me is what happened. So I moved in 2019, COVID hit 2020, and put me out of work. So I'm just kind of in a standstill right now, what to do. I have all those
All right,
trees,
well,
all those
the
trees were cut
only
down
issue
also.
that's before us, and I don't want to complicate this right now for
Yeah.
you. The only issue that's before us is the dirt and grime. Is it possible, Mr. Wiggins, that she can come into compliance with that?
Well, I asked her, would she be able to do it? She said, by next month. And she said, no, she need more time.
Why do you need more time? Just, all we're talking about here
Yeah. Like I
is,
said, my son-in-law came and did it. None of that dirt and grime that's on the top right there
Okay, but
is not
you-
there anymore, but it wasn't good enough for him.
no. I think you need to have a conversation with Mr. Wiggins about what it would take to come into compliance on this one issue only.
Okay.
If he would go back to that west side of the house,
It's the west side, that right there.
right there, and it's similar to that right now. I went over actually on the day that she called, which was
It's been
Monday,
Monday, yeah.
and it was similar to that.
Can you get that fixed by next month? I mean, that's what we're asking you to do.
I don't know what to do. Like the house needs to be repainted, but I can't paint the house when all the concrete's falling
Yeah,
off the
don't
house.
even go there. Uh,
I mean, I could slap some paint on top of it, but then I'm slapping paint
Mr.
on.
Wiggins, can you explain to her what she needs to do?
Well, like I said, I asked her, basically, we want the dirt and grime removed off of the building.
Can you get that dirt and grime removed off the building?
Sure.
Good. Okay. So we're going to give you until the end of August to get that done, okay?
Need to
But
put
you
some more-
call him.
You need to put some more lipstick on the pig.
Yeah,
Right.
apparently.
And
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, I'll just get rid of this, okay? And then you do what you need to do, but don't make it worse. Okay. The chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance and the respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is 8/31, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Just get that done, that part, and then call Mr. Wiggins and say it's done, and then he can put you into compliance.
Okay.
Okay. All right, case number 23, CEB 08-22-169, Diane Alexander. Good morning, Mr. Yates. Is Ms. Alexander here? Okay.
All right. This case was opened February 9th, 2021, and was a citizen's complaint. The notice of violation was issued for no permit for renovation. They were first notified February 17th, 2021. Compliance was due March 19th, 2021. I've had contact with the owner, and they did get a permit. The permit expired, but it's been reinstated, and they said that they should be able to complete it by October. So I'd like to ask for a finding of non-compliance with the compliance due by the October cutoff.
Okay, that seems, any questions? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the October 5th cutoff date or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
So,
Was that Ms. Marsh? Second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Case 24,
not being heard.
we're going to have, would you like this case continued, is that correct?
735 Marion, 0822-197.
Yes, case number 24, CEB 0822-175, Adrian Kolarowski.
That's the one it's continued.
Oh, okay.
So our request is that be continued, Madam.
A motion and second.
All right, we need a motion and a second to continue the request. Is there a motion, Ms. Roby, second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say
Time certain,
aye.
to the next meeting.
To the next meeting. That's to the next meeting, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, continue to the next meeting. Okay, we'll amend that motion to that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, case number 25, CEB 08-22-197, Abraham Hutchinson. Okay, and this is the one they were first notified in June. All right, June 21. Ms. Kirk?
Okay. This is a complaint-generated case that was opened on May 4th of 2022 for outside storage, trash debris, parking on an unapproved surface, broken window, inoperable vehicles, non-conforming use, which is a RV being used as living quarters. First notification was 6/21 of 22. I re-inspected the property yesterday, which is August 10th of 2022, non-compliance. I've only had contact from a tenant. Staff is requesting an order of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff date.
So nothing, has anything been achieved?
No.
Cheryl, go ahead.
Are there any other issues connected with the use of an RV as a living quarters besides just code violation? Are there health and safety issues there?
It's not
Not just
allowed.
a park RV, it's somebody using it.
Right, it appears somebody's living in that one in particular in the back. I did cite.
And that's not allowed anywhere in the city, is that correct? Or,
In a residential area.
I mean, if they were in an RV park, but I mean,
Right, yeah.
assuming they're not in an RV park.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I just asked the question.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
right, so that would,
a separate issue or is it's just a code violation?
It's a zoning violation, so it's cited as a zoning violation, correct?
Right, it is the, where is it?
I mean, there may be other issues, but that's what she cited as a zoning violation.
okay. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 8/31, which is the next cutoff date, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, Mr. Reinhardt, a second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 26, CEB 08-22-180, Kimberly Mount. Is Mount here? Okay.
This case and the next case are both being withdrawn due to service issues. Proper notice was not given.
'26 and '27.
That's correct.
So we don't need to make any motions or do anything.
And they'll be brought back next month.
Right, that's fine. Okay. We are on then page 10, case number 28. CEB 08-22-170, Alice Schneider. Okay. You don't have, you've been here, so we don't need to have you sworn in. Go ahead.
Inspector Jean-Baptiste, this was a field observation on December 4th, 2021 with the following violations: failure to repair discolored and fading paint, failure to clean dirt and grime, and unmaintained landscaping. Notice of violation was generated and it was sent certified mail. It was delivered on December 8th, 2021 with a 30-day compliance. Site reinspection on June 5th, 2022 found the facility not to be in compliance. I've had no contact with the owner. Staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance, compliance by the next cutoff date.
Okay. Any questions? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Mr. Harrington has left. We still have a quorum. We will move on. We did case number 29, case number 30, CEB 08-22-173, Thomas Valentin. That would be on Zoom. Good morning. Can you hear us? What? Okay.
Good morning. Good morning.
There you go. All right, state your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
My name is Tomas Valentin, 114 South Peninsula Drive, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32118.
Can you state your last name again, please?
Valentin, Valentin.
Okay, thank you. Will you raise your right
Yes.
hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Are you living there, Mr. Valentin?
Yes, good morning, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay. Are you living there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I
All right.
live, that is my property, and that's what I reside.
All right, we're going to hear from Mr. Jean-Baptiste first, and then I'll give you a chance to talk.
Once again,
Sure, ma'am.
Once again, Inspector Jean-Baptiste, this was a field observation on November 19th, 2021 with the following violations: dirt and grime, unmaintained landscaping, no street address. Notice of violation was generated and sent certified mail. It was delivered on November 24th, 2021 with a 30-day time for compliance. Upon a site reinspection on June 25th, 2022, facility is not in compliance. I've had contact with the owner. Staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance, compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay, what's going on here, Mr. Valentin? It looks like some of these things might be pretty easy to fix. What's the holdup?
It is. It is, ma'am. As you could probably see, due to the nature of my job, I am a merchant sailor.
Oh.
The notice, the notice that got sent, I missed it, and I'm pretty much gone all the time, and then I just recently got married. My wife got the notice, and then she told me about it. But apparently, we had gotten notice before. And you got the notice as of recently, and I did not know this was. And my wife sent me the paperwork, the Ms. Baptiste, and And then we will address it. We were just asking for a little extension, and we'll take care of it. That should be no problem.
Okay. But is your wife living at the house now?
Yes. Like I said, I just got married,
Yeah.
and but before that, there was the house was pretty much locked down while I'm gone. But since I'm married now, my wife resides there.
Okay.
And she just said, okay, thank you.
Well, all we're doing today is we're recognizing that work needs to be done, right? You know that stuff needs to be done.
Yes,
are there
yes.
any issues with notification we need to talk about here?
No, one more thing, man.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I can only listen to one person
Ma'am?
at a time. Just wait. Go ahead.
This was by,
There was no issues. It was signed for and everything.
So the owner signed for it? And when was that?
It was delivered on November 24th, 2021.
Okay, so we don't have any notification issues now. Because we have the Code Enforcement Department is testifying that the notification was signed for, was it signed for by Mr. Valentine?
Don't remember. I would
Okay.
have to go back and look. But not an issue.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The signal.
Wait a
the
minute, just
signal
hold
is just
on.
not the greatest.
It's signed for. I can't make out the name, but it's signed for.
I'm here.
Okay. So did you sign for the notification or your wife signed for the notification on 11/24/21?
No.
Who
no.
would have signed for that if it wasn't you?
Maybe the old gentleman, the old tenant. I mean, not the tenant. The house previous homeowner.
The previous homeowner?
That's right.
When did you buy the house?
I bought the house in 2013.
Well, you've been him.
But I didn't move. I didn't move in there into last year.
So it could have been the tenant that signed for that?
Well, technically, yeah, he became the tenant, but he moved out last year.
Madam Chair,
Okay, do we have an issue with that or do we not?
no, not at all. And
Legally, we don't have an issue with that, so, okay, I just wanted to clear that up to make sure that everybody understood that there's no legal issue with notification. Here's what we're here for today, Mr. Valentine. We can see that the property needs to be cleaned up. So that's all we're here today to do, is to say the property needs to be cleaned up. Mr. Batiste, what amount of time would you like this person, what are you recommending?
Initially, I was recommending till next cutoff, but I did speak to his wife yesterday. I believe I spoke to your wife, and that he will be home soon. So we're looking for what are we in August?
60 days?
September cutoff, please.
The next cutoff date?
October cutoff.
October cutoff.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance and or respondent come into compliance by the cutoff date of 10/5 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So,
Motion, Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Mr. Reinhardt, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, you've got till October to get this done, and it looks like you can, that's plenty of time to do that, correct?
It is, man. It
Okay,
is.
good.
We'll
All
get
right, good.
Uh,
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. You guys have a good day.
You too.
I
Case,
did not vote on this issue because I wasn't here to hear.
okay, all right, Mr. Harrington didn't vote. All right, case number 31, CEB 08-22-174, Marie Teresa Couture Petit.
My mother, she passed away in 2019.
And what is your name, sir? Say your name.
Francois Petit, Francois Petit, Petit.
Francois Pettit. Okay, be sworn in, please, Mr. Pettit.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we were going to do this one by Zoom, but you came here, correct?
Sorry.
Were we going to do this by
That's what I
Zoom?
had too, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I was there all the time.
That's all right. Oh, okay. We're good. We're all good. That's not your problem. Okay. All right, we're going to hear from Mr. Jean-Baptiste.
Right.
Go ahead.
This was a field observation that started on October 9th, 2021 with the following violations: dirt and grime, failure to repair discolored and damaged walls. Notice of violation was generated and sent certified mail. It went unclaimed. However, the property was reissued and posted on April 29th, 2022 with a compliance date of May 15th, 2022. A site reinspection on June 25th, 2022 found the facility to be not in compliance. Yesterday, I met with Mr. Francois, and we talked about what needed to be done. At this time, staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
All right, what would you like to tell us?
Okay, I bought the house for my folks, my parents, my mother and my father.
So you don't, who lives there now?
Now it's like
vacant?
Yeah, it's vacant because it's not like vacant. I still have stuff there, and
No, that's okay. No one lives there.
no one. But on there's a little bachelor in the back, a little house, and I got a tenant that was there when I bought the house
So there is someone living
on that
the
property. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a veteran, so
That's okay.
he was
We-
there
we're
and
not-
he's always
yeah.
been there.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
in 2018, my mother had an accident here in Florida, so I came here, took her back to Canada, then she got sick, and so for a long period, then came COVID. For a long period, I didn't came to Florida, and last year I came for 2 days. I've never saw any notice, and the Clyde Tavares who lives there, I don't think he's able
Lives
to
in the
read.
back, correct?
Yeah, he lives in the back.
So he sends you rent?
No, he didn't send me anything. He just pays his electric bill and and the water bill. That's it. So I just kept him there because he was homeless.
Where do you live?
I live in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, close to Montreal in Canada, Quebec.
And you came down here for this?
Yeah. No, not for this. I was here and I arrived on Saturday. And on Saturday, the tenant gave me the letter and told me, I think this is important. And on Monday
Do you
morning,
have-
on Monday morning, I was
Right.
here.
And you
then,
spoke to it. Okay.
yeah.
And do you have your address on record as the owner?
I thought that.
Well, you don't, because you live in Montreal,
Yeah.
evidently, and we don't have that. The code doesn't have that address. We need to get that address, correct? What?
The clerk is checking now.
Okay, we're going to check that out to see, because they need to have that address so they can correspond with you if you don't live here.
But I came here and I gave that about 10 years ago.
But your mother,
My mother was coming here every winter. But at that time, my father passed away in 2006, and I came and I gave the address in Canada if there was any problem.
So you've always owned the house?
Oh, yeah, since 1995.
And they've had the address?
Yeah.
Let's get the address on the record.
We want to get the address on the record. Just hold on a second.
We don't have the address, your address, we just have.
Do you want me to write it down because it's in French? And
Yeah.
Please. Yes, so then we can give you proper notification. What do you want to do about this? If we didn't have the address, it was posted, correct?
Posted.
Was it posted?
It was posted, yes, ma'am.
It meets requirements.
It meets the requirements.
Also,
Okay.
We've met our.
would there have to be, he'd have to record that with the property appraiser's
Right, that's-
office?
Yeah, and the property appraiser's
Because that's
office
where they're
of
getting it.
Volusia County?
sorry?
Yeah.
How do you get your tax bills?
English is,
Do you get your tax bills?
yeah.
Oh,
Just-
okay,
just
so,
For
See on that,
clarification, if, our record from the tax collectors does not have, it has the Daytona address. So just need to make sure that's clarified with them.
you need to call
Everybody to tell them my
to
Canadian
get,
address.
so to make sure you get notices. How did you know you had a tax bill?
Before COVID, I was coming every 2 months.
Oh, I
So,
see. You're
so
going to that address.
before COVID, but when COVID, the border was
Okay,
closed.
alright.
So if
Okay,
I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
coming here,
Okay,
couldn't go back.
And Madam Chair, just one more clarification. I think you mentioned calling, but, or he may have mentioned calling, but you probably would need to go online. I don't know if calling would be able to correct that. So you probably can go online and correct it.
Okay.
But you can call and determine that from them if you need.
Right.
He has to go to the
All
proper
right,
appraisal.
so, can you get this work done? That's the bottom line.
Oh, yeah.
Work it done.
I'm going to do it as fast as possible. But
Okay.
right now, I'm here only for a week because I didn't plan
Well,
to
you
do.
can have somebody else do the work, correct?
Huh, yeah. Yeah, somebody else. I've tried to have somebody mow the lawn for like the last 10 years, and everybody, they don't
Okay, but
come, they
That's
don't.
part of the responsibility of owning property,
Yeah,
getting the work done.
I know. And since the tenant there is getting like very old, when it's hot, he can't go outside. So right now, I'm gonna talk with Mr. Jean-Baptiste and see how I could arrange. I want to take the grass out, so it's gonna be easier to maintain the place and I'll probably retire soon and come here and take care
Well,
of.
okay, the issue is it's not in compliance now.
Yeah.
Okay. And you admit to that. So we'd like you to come into compliance, however you need to do that, whether it's higher.
Could I get like 90 days to
I
take care?
don't know whether, I don't know how the board feels about that.
Well, I would say that, looking at his situation, individual situation, he lives out of the country. And I think we just made a bunch of decisions giving people 2 and 3 months. So why not him?
We didn't give anyone 3 months that I know of.
Yes, we did.
And each case is, my opinion is that each case is separate.
Right.
Because there are separate circumstances for each case. And that's my opinion. I don't think there's a blanket way to do it. What does everybody
Well,
else think?
That's what I said. I said,
Okay.
in his individual situation.
Okay, what does anyone else say?
I don't have an issue with 90 days.
You don't have an issue with 90 days. I think 90 days is more, I mean, that's, to me, I wouldn't be in
Maybe the
favor of
October cutoff?
90 days.
The October cutoff?
Okay. I might be okay with that. Anybody else want to weigh in?
I do October.
All right. So, would somebody like to make a motion to make the cutoff 10/5, come into compliance by 10/5?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Mr. Reinhardt's made a motion to find respondent in noncompliance in order to come into compliance by 10/5, which is the next cutoff date, and be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
Second.
All right, and Ms. Roby the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion.
Opposed.
Some clarification, Madam Chair.
Okay.
You said it was the next cutoff date, and so that it's no confusion.
All right,
Yeah, it
the
is
all right, so amend and take out next cutoff date and say the cutoff date of October 5th. Willing to amend?
Yes.
Willing to amend? All right, so the motioner and the person that's second are willing to amend. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Okay.
So, good. And stay in touch with Mr. Jean.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, we have things like Zoom and we have telephones now, so you can, you can stay in touch with him.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely make
I just
contact.
didn't know anything about it, so.
Definitely make contact with the property appraiser's office,
And
too.
the property appraiser too,
Yeah.
so they have your right address.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Case number 32, CEB 08-22-182, Tanya Douglas. Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name and address for the record.
Tanya Douglas, 122 Azalea Drive.
Okay.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Butler, good morning again.
Good morning. As it pertains to 122 Azalea Drive, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on January 26, 2022, where it was determined the property had dilapidated fencing, dirt and grime, and facial issues. A first notice was received on January 29, 2022. On March 29, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was July 28, 2022. Result of my reinspection was noncompliance. I've had contact with the property owner, whom is working towards compliance. Staff requests a finding of noncompliance. Compliance next cutoff.
Okay. Ms. Douglas, we're just asking you to do whatever is left to do. We see there's some progress. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31, or be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
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 Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, good, just stay in touch, okay? Case number 33, CB 08-22-183, Latrenda S. Salter Derival. Okay,
As pertains to 186 Edward Street, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on February 22nd, 2022, where it was determined the property had peel and paint, landscaping, and no house numbers, excuse me. A first notice was received on March 1st, 2022. On April 1st, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. Last date of reinspection was July 28, 2022. Result of my inspection was noncompliance. I've had contact with the property owner. Staff requests finding of noncompliance, compliance, next cutoff.
doesn't look like there's a lot to do, so.
Can't see, it's the peel and paint. Can you
Uh-huh.
see those little spots in
Yep.
the front? Okay, so she's working on getting that.
Okay,
taken care of.
good. Okay, so she's working on it,
Yes.
good, okay. Questions? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31, or be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case 34, CEB 08-22-185, Aiken Shenbanjo. Okay,
As pertains to 744 Mercedes Avenue. This is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on February 24th, 2022, where it was determined the property had dilapidated garage, outdoor storage. A first notice was received on March 2nd, 2022. On April 1st, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. Last date of reinspection was July 28, 2022. Result of my reinspection was noncompliance. I've had contact, I'm sorry, I had no contact and no progress. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance, compliance next cutoff.
Any questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, August 31st, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Motion? Is that Ms. Roby?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, motion, Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 35, CB 08-22-186, Leroy C. Bell and Lily Bell.
As pertains to 1305 Idlewild Drive, this was a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on February 24th, 2022, where it was determined the property had dirt and grime issues. A first notice was received on March 1st, 2022. On March 31st, 2022, the violation was to be in compliance. The last date of reinspection was July 28th, 2022. The result of my reinspection was noncompliance. I've had contact with the owner. However, there's been no progress. Staff requests a finding of noncompliance, compliance, next cutoff.
Any questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent noncompliance or respondent come into compliance by August 31st, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. All right. Jake Coleman and Hugh Coleman. Good morning.
Good morning. Swear you in.
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
Hugh Coleman, 1917 North Halifax Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32118.
Your name is Steve?
Hugh.
Hugh. Oh, you're Hugh. Okay.
Yes, I'm Hugh.
Okay. All right.
Jake Coleman, 323 Boylston Ave, Daytona Beach.
Okay.
Will you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Hugh Coleman, you are on this because you're partial owner of?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. That's a relationship.
Yeah, he's my
Your
son.
son. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a Dr. Hugh Coleman.
Okay. All right. Mr. Stenson.
Good morning, John Stenson, Code Inspector with the City. My qualifications on file. This case was generated by a police complaint. It was an expired roof permit. The first notice was received on 23 May of 22. I have been in contact with the property owner and his son. The compliance date was 14 June of 22. There's been multiple re-inspections and communications between myself and the property owner. Recommendation is non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
So have they gone to the permit department?
I'll let Mr.
Yeah, I can.
All right,
if you want.
just
Mr.
wait.
Coleman speak on
And can you tell me why it was a police complaint?
No, I do not know. That's just how it came to me. It filtered down from the police department to the rental department and then to me.
That's strange.
I'm asking because that's
Yeah,
unusual
police
for a
get
roof
involved in a roof.
complaint.
Yeah.
Huh?
How do the police get involved in a roof complaint? Different.
Anybody, do you know,
I
Mr.
did.
Sykes? No?
No.
Do you know? Does it matter?
Not
I'm-
really,
No, no.
not really, Madam Chair.
Okay.
but,
Well, it's
yeah.
just unusual and I'm trying to figure out. All
I
right.
had the same question mark when he said it, but
Okay.
don't know the answer.
All right. Mr. Coleman, do you want, well, I don't care who speaks first, Hugh or Jake.
Okay. So I saw the notice a week from Monday.
A week ago Monday?
A week ago Monday.
Uh-huh.
And, I've been in and out of town a lot. I have a sick parent But anyways, that being said, I did contact the code enforcement department and the permit department.
The permits and licensing.
Permits and
Good.
licensing.
Okay.
And I found out the name of the roofer who put the roof on. And
Yeah,
his
good.
name was Keith Milne, and it's Milne Roofing of Ormond Beach. And I contacted him, and evidently the roof was put on in 2016, and we did not own the property at that time. We did not own the property until February of 2021, and we're unaware of the roof permit issue because it had a clear title when we purchased the property, and there were no liens. And so, you know, this was out of the blue when I saw, I guess there was a notice beforehand that came in the mail, and I saw it, and I thought, this has got to be a mistake and the wrong address because, you know, I knew it had a clear title, and I just, you know, blew it off, and then I saw another notice like this time, and then looked into it. And the roofer said he came by the permits department here and said he was going to come out to the property and inspect the roof, and he failed to show up 2 days ago when he said he was going to show up. And then I asked him, you know, well, when are you going to come? When can I expect you? Because, you know, I had made sure I was going to be there
Right.
for his inspection. And then he said, well, I'll try to come the next day. And then he didn't come yesterday either. And I said, well, when can we, you know, expect you? He said to me, well, I owe $500 and I have to hire somebody. This is what he said before, but he was going to show up and he never showed up. So unfortunately, because he's the one who did the roof and the expired permit was through him and he never reinstated the permit, nobody else is going to look at it because they don't want the liability.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm kind of dependent on him, and I don't know, you know, he doesn't seem that dependable.
So he's saying that he's owed $500 more from the roof?
He says he owes $500, I guess, to the permit department, and I don't know
Oh,
if
but
that's.
he may never have pulled a permit to begin with.
I think there was a permit, because they said the permit was expired, and then he has to reinstate the permit
And
and then
that
close
costs
the permit.
$500?
I don't know if he has some other outstanding fees. He didn't
He may have some
explain.
other outstanding debt.
Yeah.
Sounds like from what they're describing.
Do you know anything else?
Well, I had made an appointment I actually left work to come meet him at the house at 4 o'clock. Actually, he said he'd be there between 3 and 4 o'clock, and I waited and I waited and I called him, and then he didn't answer. Then finally at 4:30 he called, and I said, hey, what's going on? Where are you at? He said, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. I said, listen, man, we gotta go and speak with the commission tomorrow. So this is beyond our reach. So it's gonna end up falling in your lap. And it's kind of crazy because I just had left from work and what I was doing to come meet you is pretty inconsiderate. He's like, oh, sorry. I was like, well, do you want to come tomorrow? He's like, yeah, give me a call tomorrow, which was supposed to be yesterday. And he's like, give me a call in the morning. I was like, can we just make a scheduled time? Because I have a set schedule for my day that I have to work you into. And he said, yeah, let's go for around 2 o'clock. So I followed up with him again, and it's just somebody who just has a lackadaisical effort to try and get this finished, and he's just trying to avoid it. So it's kind of like beyond our reach at this point.
All right, I have several questions about this.
Oh, also, can I just add another
ahead.
thing too? I did call the title company, which was Fidelity Title, and they're on Causeway in New Smyrna Beach.
Right.
And I asked them, and they said that they don't routinely pull permits, but they do check a title search to see if there's any
Right,
liens,
there are
and there were
no,
no
so there are
liens.
no liens on the property.
And there are no liens on the property.
That's a good thing, okay,
Yeah.
so there are no liens on the
Right,
property.
but I mean,
Oh,
had there been a lien, then we wouldn't have
Right,
purchased the
so
property.
we have at least that,
To begin
that's
with.
good, okay.
What is?
Go ahead, Mr.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Mr. Harrington.
If there's no liens, then we're here to find they're in non-compliance. For them to resolve this issue, it sounds like they're gonna be in a legal civil suit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's something all we can do is determine if they're in non-compliance.
You know,
There's no lien, the title company claims there was no lien. They
Exactly.
need to find out whether that's true or not.
you know,
Yeah,
I
there,
know
there
we
is
asked-
no, there is no lien, but,
sorry.
oh, sorry.
No, we had said in the beginning that you know, it wasn't a big deal about it being a police report that generated this, but I guess it comes back to that question because how do you proceed with this? I mean, if they purchase a house after the fact,
Right, and there were no liens.
and there were no
was
liens or anything, and then how do
no
we get?
code case.
Exactly. So how do you, I don't know, I
guess
just,
you'll have to get with permits and licensing to find out where everything is standing on the property.
I mean, I don't know if permits and licensing could come out without the roofer just to
No,
inspect it and
you-
close it?
what we're suggesting is that you go down to permits and licensing right now, maybe with Mr. Stenson after he's finished here, and find out what you need to do to resolve this.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they had said that they need the permit to be reinstated and then
Yeah, that's
closed,
okay, but if you explain your situation to them.
Yeah, they might be able to, maybe it passed, but he owes them money, so they won't finalize it.
I think it failed twice is what they had said, and he had said that when they came out to inspect the last time, I think he had some tarps or something on it, and
Is
it
that
was
on
raining at the
record?
time, but I don't know. They said it had failed twice, and
I really am, I'm not really, I'm thinking there's
but
Madam
it's
Chair,
been
I
6
kinda-
years.
Kind of have a little feeling that maybe going a little bit beyond the scope of where the board would want to be. I don't know what
I know.
Mr. Zeno feels concerning
I
that.
think you just try to find out information at this point.
Okay.
You can't
And
recommend what you do.
Right, that's right. We can't tell you what to do, how to proceed. That's not our job. I
Okay.
mean, if Mr. Stenson is saying this is in non-compliance right now, and there are all these other issues going on, that's what we have to rule. And then if it's not in compliance,
the only other thing I can
They'll
say
have
is
to
that.
do everything they can to try and get a compliance. And-
right,
and
but we're
obviously,
gonna, I
they'll be
think that
involved.
if you stay in touch with Mr. Stenson and you get back with permits and licensing, that's the best you can do right now, and I can just kind of tell from, I mean, I don't know, but my opinion would be we'll give you time to do that, to get things worked out. That would be what I would.
I do know that it did pass roof inspection when we purchased the house. I mean, we did have an inspector, and they looked at the roof, and it did pass the
home
roof
inspection.
inspection, and it did meet the insurance requirement, and it does have insurance, and it met I think the wind mitigation, or, all that stuff was,
What exactly is oh, so it's just the permit that,
it's just a permit. It's,
Just a permit.
the roof was completed.
It might just be that he owes the money and he can't open it up, so. I mean, that's why you have to go down and talk to them and find out what on the address.
I mean, we,
I just
Okay.
see where we.
all right, that's right. All right, so we have to rule on the case. And,
can I ask one question first?
go ahead.
So is it possible that we could go down to the permit and ask them and just come right back?
No.
No, okay.
You can go down and ask them
Okay,
and then contact Mr. Stenson.
Right now, we're not going to do anything except give you, probably, I don't know because we haven't voted, find you in non-compliance and give you time to come into compliance. There are no fines, there's no anything.
okay.
Mr. Stenson is recommending the next cutoff?
Yes.
Well, it seems, okay, so that's what the city recommends, doesn't necessarily mean that's what we recommend.
Madam Chair, if I can just state one other thing, and I know they've said that they've been trying, and I'm sure they'll continue to try to get back with the contractor who actually did the roof. Just clarification from the inspector, compliance, it would be them getting probably an inspection and a final on the roof. Is that pretty much it?
Well, final.
I mean, if indeed it can be final without additional work required.
Correct.
So
The
it'll be-
permit just needs to be final.
So it's as simple as that. Granted, it has a whole lot of complexities, which they've explained and they'll explain as well to permits. But the ultimate question is, do they have a permitted roof right now? And the answer is no, it never was final. And ultimately, we need a roof final. And so if you want to give them additional time, of course, that's fair, reasonable, but that's the board's decision. But we don't believe it's as ultimately it's complex if they can at least get stage B, and they've been working on that. So we acknowledge that they have been working on trying to just get the contractor who they had. And if not, there's alternatives that they could speak to the permits and licensing about possibly. We don't know those answers, but permits and licensing will. Is that correct, Mr. Stinson?
That's correct.
Are you understanding this? Okay. Good. All right, so what's the board want to do? A month or 2 months, what?
I make the motion that to come into compliance by, the September cutoff, because all he's got to do is go ask questions, and he can get back to Mr. Stenson, and then we'll move from there in the 30 days.
Okay. All right. So the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is August 31st, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Motion from Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Second from Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay, so just, stay in touch with Mr. Stenson. Go down to,
You go down now and check with them now.
go down now and check with permits and licensing, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Case 37, CB 08-22-188, Rebecca Mary Carr.
Good morning.
Good morning. State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Hi. Rebecca Carr, 357 Brookline Avenue, in Daytona Beach.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hear from Mr. Stenson, then we'll let you speak.
Good morning. This is a field-generated case for outside storage and landscaping. The first notice was received on 20 May of 22. Up until recently, I didn't have any contact, but I have been in contact with the property owner since. Compliance was due on 20 June with multiple re-inspections being performed, the last one being performed yesterday. The recommendation is properties in non-compliance and should be able to come into compliance by the next cutoff.
Can you get that work done by the next cutoff,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Okay, good. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. So just stay in touch when you're finished
Okay.
cleaning it up. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Talk to Mr. Stenson. Okay? Case 38 is in compliance. Case 39, CB 08-22-191, Stephen Weaver and Donella Weaver. Come on up. Good morning. State your name and address for the record.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and members of the board. My name's Stephen Michael Weaver Sr. My address is 1157 Bel Air Drive, Daytona Beach, 32118.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do so swear.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to hear from Mr. Stenson, and then we'll allow you to talk. Okay, Mr. Stenson, what can you tell us?
Okay, this was a complaint-driven case with multiple violations. As of today, the only violation that remains uncorrected is the damaged stairs in front of the house. The permit has been obtained. That he would like to have an order of non-compliance and properly come into compliance by the next cutoff.
Good, made a whole lot of progress. You live there?
I do.
Okay, so a whole lot of progress being made. That's great. We love that. You have your permit. Can you get it done by that?
Madam Chair, I am a general contractor.
Okay.
And I'm 60, and I'm having supply chain issues. I build down in Fort Pierce, and I commute 150 miles every day. I ultimately had to generate my own drawings because I couldn't get an architect. So I'm in agreement with Mr. Stenson that the stairs do in fact need to be replaced. I tried to repair them, but we met out there, both agreed it wasn't going to cut it. So I studied the code and drew my own plans and got that in last week or so. I can't get concrete until, more than likely until the middle of September. But that does give me enough time to not lose my job and to get the stairs formed up and inspected. I know I'll be done by November 3rd. The question is if I could be done by October 3rd. So in order to save you guys time and me a little bit of stress, I'd like to see if you'd give me 90 days to finish it.
You know, we'd like, and what I probably would vote for was 60 days, and you come back and, you know.
I'll probably have it done. I'm okay.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss the rest of it then. I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
I think it's fair, especially supply issue.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the October 5th cutoff date or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Ms. Roby made a motion. Second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you, too, sir.
I hope you get your cement. Unbelievable. Wait a minute. Okay. Case number 40. CEB 08-22-192. Brian Wilderson, trustee of Brian Wilderson Trust. Okay, anybody here for that case? Okay.
This was a complaint-driven case. They were cited for outside storage and unmaintained landscaping. First notice was posted on the property on 8 June. I've had no contact with this property owner. Compliance was due on 29 June. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. Property remains in non-compliance when compliance by the next cutoff.
No contact?
No contact.
Okay.
Is it vacant, you think?
It is vacant, yes.
And this was field generated?
No, this is complaint-driven.
Complaint driven. All right. Any questions before? All right, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, August 31st, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case 41, CEB 08-22-193, Yvonne Simon and Gary Holt. You've been sitting a long time, huh? We're almost done. It's okay, take your time.
Hello, my name is Gary Holt. The address is 250 University Boulevard in Daytona Beach.
You raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Stinson, we'll let him go first, and then
Yes, ma'am.
if you need to, you can talk.
This is also a complaint-driven case. They were cited for landscaping, outside storage, damaged fencing, and wood rot on the exterior of the building. Since then, the outside storage is being addressed. The fencing has yet to be done, and he is working on wood rot. First notice was received on 10 June of this year. I have been in contact with the property owner. Compliance was due on 8 July with multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. Property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for compliance by the next cutoff.
How about the landscaping? Has that been fixed yet? Unmaintained landscaping?
No, the right-of-way still needs to be
Okay,
addressed.
okay. Okay, so you're working on it and you've been in touch with Mr. Stenson.
I have. Those bushes have been cut. Were you there yesterday, sir?
Yeah. I'm talking about the bushes on the right-of-way, the edging of the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about the bougainvillea. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
Okay, that got trimmed.
so that he just needs to trim that, that'll be taken.
Trim that bush?
no, trim the,
Just edge the, yeah, I
Yeah.
edge that, when I edge that, and I also edge my neighbor's property because it's right down the
Right.
line.
Okay,
Fencing. Can who do I submit this to? I want
What
to show a
is it?
picture. This is the fence that I repaired and rebuilt the whole entire fence. Is that,
hold that picture there?
that's the fence back going into the backyard that was rotted.
Fencing I'm referring to is on the sidewalk, it's right along the sidewalk, on the western end of the property.
Okay, what do you need to have me do with that?
The fencing itself needs to be repaired, it's being held up by 2 ropes.
No, not anymore. No. On the west side, absolutely has been gone. You mean on the grass? Those are gone, as you requested.
The 2 ropes that were holding the fence up,
They're gone.
so the fence is being held up on its own.
Well, the fence is being held up by an additional structure to the 4x4s that are holding the 4x4s
Right.
without
all
ropes.
right,
do a
so
re-inspection.
Mr. Stenson then needs to go out and recheck that.
Yeah, he can do it.
Saying it's now different than it was.
Yeah, so the 4x4s in all candor were,
Okay.
I think, rotted at the bottom, or
Okay,
they were
that-
not.
That's right. If that, you just need to say, if Mr. Stenson will be able to come out
Sure.
again and take a look at that if you say it's fixed. So we still have the issue of the wood rot. Has that? been
Yeah, now,
addressed?
I have a picture. Do you have a current picture of that, Mr. Stenson?
So how come Mr.
Okay.
Stenson doesn't know these things have been fixed?
I don't know.
Well, okay, well, then.
This is,
It's your job to call him and have
Oh,
him come
okay.
out and look at it when you think something's fixed, and he can tell you if there's something else that you need to do.
okay.
Okay,
Can I submit
That's
this
where we
picture to
are.
him?
so as
That's-
of now,
That's at the end. I also need to tell you, not that this should have any influence, I'm 79, I have acute COPD, and working in the heat literally kills me. In fact, the man I was going to hire to do that work said he wouldn't get up on that ladder in the middle of the day.
right, I get it.
So that being said, I talked to Mr. Stenson and said, look, I'm going to take over and do this because it's got to get done, and I can't be dependent on, no offense, Daytona Beach handyman to do it. So I'm taking care of it. But that is the current status of what
Well,
you
he'll
see.
come out-
And I apologize for not calling him. Did you see that you have the picture of what I finished yesterday afternoon, correct? Where, oh, yeah, no.
No, he's looking at it.
Oh, he's looking at it. I keep looking at the screen. Well, I am looking at you now, but, yeah. But I want to just state, well, actually, one more question, but I certainly have no argument with code enforcement on these issues. I'm aware of what needs to be done, but I also have full custody of a 5-year-old, well, he's now 10, but I've had him since he was 5. So splitting my time, getting that done, and also
Okay, well,
having COPD, I'm working pretty hard to get it done. But can I ask a question on the outside storage? I need to, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
I want to make sure that I can be in compliance. Where did I put that picture? My goodness. Well, you know, when you get old,
You know
this
what?
happens.
Yeah, you need to talk to Mr. Stenson. We can't answer those questions about what put you
Okay.
to comply.
Then, okay.
You need to have a conversation with Mr. Stenson, and he will tell you exactly what is left to be done.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
That will,
I'll do that. I'd like an extension
really.
of time. I mean, you give it to me. I mean, I can do it by the end of the month, but I'd
Well,
like
that's
to.
what we're looking for.
Okay.
So, does anybody on the board have questions or want to make a,
No, I have no objection to give them some Extra time, he's working away.
He is working away. So what would you like, August 31st or October 5th?
No, not August.
Okay.
You mean September.
No, well, August 31st is the cutoff.
August 31st is the cutoff for,
That's too soon.
okay, so you want October cutoff? Okay. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by October 5th or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion, that was Ms. Roby, was that Ms. Roby? Okay. Second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay, so you've got a little bit of time now to go get that done, but stay in touch
I will.
with
I'll
Mr.
remember.
Stenson because we can't put you in compliance.
No,
Mr.
I
Stenson's
understand.
the one that needs to
Okay.
put, and we can't tell you what you need to do to come into compliance.
You're it.
He's it. He's on.
Sorry.
All right, good. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Okay,
Take care.
case number
I'm gonna go home and see
42.
my kid.
CEB 08-22-194, John Gorman.
Nobody's here for that
He's
one.
here.
Oh,
Yeah, he's coming.
okay.
Mr. Gorman, state your
morning.
name and address for the record, please.
It's John Gorman at 730 North Peninsula Drive in Daytona Beach.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Do you live there?
I do.
Okay.
This is a complaint-driven case for unmaintained landscaping. The notice of violation was received on 24 June this year. I've had no contact with this property owner. Compliance was due on 8 July of this year. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday, and property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for an order of non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay. What, is there anything you'd like to tell us? You know what you need to do to come into compliance?
I do. Had a landscaper, lawn guy for many years there, and he, about a few months ago, just dropped off, nowhere, no contact from him. And working nights, been trying to keep it trim as much as I can, but summertime,
Okay. All right. But you can get it done. It's not,
Yeah,
okay, not a
yeah.
big deal. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is August 31st, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay. Just stay in touch.
Yeah.
All right, case 43, stay in touch with Mr. Stenson, please. CEB 08-22-168, Carol Marie Catul. All right, Mr. Jones.
Yes, this was a complaint-driven case that was opened back in May 5th of 2022 with a screen porch that was not permitted. The first notice was received on May 19th with compliance due June 20th. I've had contact from the contractor representing the owner. They did submit an application this week. They're missing quite a bit of information. They need to get a survey and so forth. Staff is recommending a finding of noncompliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay. Questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31, or be returned to the board for consideration fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Roby, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay. We're almost done. What, are you the last two? You won
No,
the
there's one.
lottery. You all
There's one, and-
won the last two. Okay, you all won the lottery. Sorry about that. Well, case 44, CEB 08-22-167, Daniel Langston. There we go.
That's
Misspelled.
That'd be Daniel Langton.
Okay.
No S. 428 Pelican Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay.
And this is Mary Ann Wilson, my other half.
I also live at 428
Yes.
Pelican Avenue.
Okay, be sworn in, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
We do.
Thank you.
Oh, I do.
Yikes. All right, Mr. Jones, we'll hear from him, okay?
Yes, this case was opened on April 19th, 2022 as a citizen's complaint for work without permits. The first notice was received on April 25th with compliance due May 26th. This property has numerous items that were done without permits. There were 2 windows that were enclosed and a new window installed. A new front door was installed. The carport was enclosed without a permit. They removed 4 windows in the front and the rear of the building and installed sliding glass doors. They replaced 3 windows in the front of the building with fixed windows and without a permit. And if this is a bedroom, you cannot do that because you've lost the egress out of that room, but I have not been in the unit. They installed a new fence, installed a new air conditioning, and remodeled the bathroom. Numerous permits have been pulled, none of them finalized at this time. Staff's recommending a finding of noncompliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay. Well, you need some permits.
We have them.
We have them. Actually, I went downstairs while we were waiting.
Okay.
here,
The last
just
time.
to double
Good.
check. And it appears that all of the permits that we've asked for have been approved, except, of course, we have to pay. So we will do that today. I just wanted to explain though to the board that a lot of this confusion had taken place when we discovered damages that were pre-existing in the house prior to our ownership. So we had extensive rain, wind, and so on and so forth that was coming through windows. We had a wall that we can't even really call it a wall, that consisted of a petition on the rear of the house and very, very, very dangerous,
Non-tempered glass.
non-tempered type, very dangerous situation. So being new to all of this, we requested from the city what needs a permit and what doesn't need a permit.
When did you do that?
We did that, well, it looks like the date on this signature, or this date that Danny signed for this was September 8th of 2021. We had received this document, though, prior to that, and I was using this document as my go-to document. I have since learned very, 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 very well that we cannot go by this to the T, that you have to make sure
What
that...
is that document?
I'll show it to you. It's a document that describes what you can do to repair a property and what permits are required and what requires a permit and what doesn't require a permit. This form right here has gotten us into trouble, okay? But since receiving the complaints and the violations, we know we are trying to comply, okay? But we did put high-impact windows. When we found that petition wall in the rear of the house, we put a full-blown slider that's also high-impact. But because we were, in our minds, we were doing repairs that were diligent, but we have now discovered through this process that repairs, some, even though you're repairing, may require a permit. So we know that now. But, you know, it's very, very difficult to find somebody to engineer any work as well.
Very hard.
So we've gone through this process. We've gone through a very, very big expenses in trying to make sure that everything looks nice, and that it's also safe. So I'm really glad to know that the permits are approved, so that we, and they,
Have you shared this information with Mr. Jones?
I haven't got to talk with him recently.
kind of recently.
I haven't had any phone calls, I don't believe, in the last a few weeks, but yes, they've been slowly going ahead and putting applications in.
Good.
And I do know that seeing some of the files that they've requested additional information
Okay.
from the owners. But all of this work was completed
Without,
permits.
correct.
And a lot of it was, I mean, when you're looking at the structural enclosing, you know, of a carport, that was a carport and you made it into, enclosed it, brought it out, made it into a garage, they closed window openings. And I still have some concern over them replacing some windows in the front with solid pane windows, because that could be a violation in regards to egress, but haven't been able to get in the house.
Okay.
Let me say this about those windows. Those windows that we replaced the old leaking, awful, horrible windows. We replaced them with high-impact windows. They do open and they do close, okay? This one doesn't on the far east side of the property,
Well,
but the
these are
others.
issues you're going to need to speak to Mr. Jones about. Let him come out
Okay.
there, tell him what you've done, show him the permit. We appreciate the fact that you've done all this work in the house to bring it, to make it look nicer for our city. But you need permits for this, and you're getting them, but right now, I don't know whether it's Mr. Jones has not put you into compliance, so
Well, I can't put them into compliance until they have inspections.
Correct.
And that the building department.
Correct.
Finals those permits.
Right. That's-
Okay.
So it's very good that they've got all the permits applied.
Right.
Yeah, we were happy to find that out, too.
So let's
Yeah.
move,
I might say it's terrific that you're doing that, because you're going to protect yourself from your insurance company denying you claims if you haven't done this.
All right, so-
They will gladly do that to you if you don't have those permitted things.
And just cosmetically, it's quite an improvement.
Right,
And we're very proud of that. Can I just ask one quick question, too, with regards to the remodeling of the bathroom? Can I address that with you, Mr. Mark
look, you
Jones,
can do that
at a different time?
afterwards.
Yeah, at a different time.
All right, do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
afterwards.
So anyway,
So what are,
we're on the right track.
okay, yes, you are on the right track.
Do you want your paper back? We are-
Oh, yeah.
Does the board have any other questions?
Just thinking about the time span.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, if they have all their permits, all the permits are after the fact permits, it should require just contacting the building department to come out and final all these items. So it should be able to be completed by the next cutoff.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good. Chair will entertain motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Madam Chair. If you can include correcting the
Spelling.
the style of the case.
Take the S out.
It's Langton.
Langton with no S.
No,
And-
Yeah.
and-
we need to correct,
And
the name.
in addition to that, there was an error on the email too, that may be some of the reason why, there was a little communication barrier. Danny doesn't like to use my email because it's too feminine.
That's all right.
I just don't do it. I don't.
That's fine, that's fine.
Not that great.
Okay, all right. Finding a motion in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 8/31, correct the spelling, be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Motion, Mr.
We'll get
Roby,
it done.
second. Second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Thanks
you.
much. I like your article that you do in the Bel Air News.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Case number 45, CEB 08-22-178, Robert Young. Sorry, Mr. Young. Somebody's got to always go last. We'll hear, state your name and address for the record.
Robert Young, 563 Foot Court, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Okay, be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Jones, what can you tell us?
Yes, this case opened on January 4th of 2022 for a fence installed without a permit, some peeling paint, and a railing missing on a second floor balcony. The first notice was received on March 19th with compliance due April 18th, 2022. I've had numerous contacts with the owner. He has had a permit issued on August 2nd. Staff is requesting a finding of noncompliance with compliance due August 31st.
Okay. Is that all right with you?
That's fine.
Well, good. Thank you for getting the permit. Okay.
Sorry for that.
Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respond to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, August 31st, or be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 a day.
Can I ask one question before we leave here?
Yeah, let us just get through this motion.
Okay, I didn't know if you were
The
done.
question may just be for Mr. Jones. All right, so a motion from, was that Mr. Gonzalez?
Correct.
How about a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Is it a question for us or?
It's a question for the board, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The question I have is, how do I file a complaint against code officer? It's not Mr. Jones. It's not Mr. Jones. I've tried contacting.
The manager
That's not a
will
question
be able
for
to
us
give
to
you
ask
better
either.
direction.
Okay, 'cause I've-
That's outside of the board.
Yeah,
All right.
that's outside of the board.
Because nobody seemed to be able to tell me.
Well, I think Mr. Sykes would be able to tell you. That's who you need to talk to.
I was told it was Captain Lee, but,
Captain Lee too would be
He's on
fine.
vacation.
yeah, but
He's on vacation.
I've left him numerous voicemails over 6
We're not in
months.
charge,
Okay.
we, as board, aren't in
Yes.
charge of staff.
Okay,
But I think Mr. Sykes will be able to help you out today.
great. Thank you.
Okay?
What about Jane Wyatt?
What?
What about Jane Wyatt?
Jane Wyatt?
It's Robert Young.
Never mind. All right, anything else from the board? One thing I want to say is that it seems to me that all these after-the-fact permits could be because people aren't, some of them could be because people aren't aware of what needs to be permitted, what doesn't. They think of repair work as something that doesn't need to be permitted. I mean, people don't know, they really don't know. Some people absolutely do know, and we know right away who they are when they come up here. So, no big secret. But I'm wondering if some extra education,
You know,
I know it's on the website, and you know what? Captain Lee does do code meetings all the time. People don't go to those.
It's a matter, I've suggested that for, I don't know how many months, a matter
Right.
of money and staff. But we've got this television thing here that we don't use for anything except
Right.
2-year-old interviews.
Right.
And showing a roller coaster that doesn't exist and stuff like that. How about a whole series of educational programs? Code enforcement would be
Yeah,
one of them.
that's a good idea.
You can even have participation, you're not dealing with anybody's case, but how this works. If you go to South Daytona, which is simply one example, they've got beautiful written literature, which I submitted to some of the people who were on the board at the time with pictures. It's not the city, it's not the code board that doesn't, or the code office don't want to do it, but somebody's got to push the commission to say, hey,
Yeah.
here's the money, let's spend it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, I mean, we've finally gotten like a letter out in the city has gotten a letter out in the water bills. So, you know.
With
and-
the accurate information.
Right.
2 months later.
Right, so that's, I mean, maybe that would be another way to do it. you know, I don't know. It's just, you
We've got
know.
the resources here.
But we did have a
use it?
lot of after permits today, and some of them were probably legitimate and some of them weren't. you
Well, I
know.
like that checklist that I saw. That's exactly what
Right.
everyone should be handed the minute they're talked to.
Yeah,
But the problem is getting the people in to ask the questions down in permit and licensing, or else it don't happen.
well, but if they don't ever go there, they're not.
Right, they don't go there because they try and,
You know, some of us people look at the code board or any official body as a dentist. So it doesn't matter how
All right.
you tell them, they're gonna look the other way.
Right. All right. Anything else? Meeting adjourned.